Hi! Need a Christmas gift idea that's affordable for a whole group? Well, today I've got one for you, and I'll be demonstrating my Christmas gift for coffee lovers using the Stampin' Up! Bring on the Presents stamp set and All the Presents Thinlits dies. This Christmas gift has a beautiful bow that you won't have to tie. I'm Shelley Godby, the owner and CEO of Stamping Smiles, and for 17 years I've been teaching others how to create their own hand stamped smiles, so this will work for coffee lovers and more. Here's a closer view of the Bring on the Presents stamp set and coordinating All the Presents Thinlits dies. Both of these are from the 2018 Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. And when you order the two of them together using the special bundle item number I've listed right here, you'll save 10% on both. Now, what I like about this set is, even though today we're using it for a Christmas gift idea, look at these beautiful bows, the tag, and even two of the greetings and the other stamps, you'll be able to use well beyond Christmas. And I wanted you to see something. Look at the beautiful shading someone did on the bows using the Stampin' Blends. Oh my goodness. But what I was thinking about for this Christmas gift idea was something that you could use, because it's inexpensive, is for a group. You know, perhaps for your co-workers, Sunday school class, another group, all the service people that have just made your life so wonderful and easier throughout the year. So instead of all that coloring, I decided we're going to use designer series paper. And this is from the Santa's Workshop designer series paper. So first I stamped it in black and it wasn't all that remarkable. And I thought, well, wait a minute, how about if we emboss it? So for that, I've got my Versamark pad and then my embossing buddy. That's the first thing you want to do. Take this out of here and rub all over your paper. What's so cool about this is that the embossing powder is going to stick then to the wet ink and not any of the oil in your fingerprints. Okay, so we've got our Versamark pad and our bow stamp. Let's go ahead, ink this up. And what's nice about this, it stays wet for a good long time. But it's clear, so not so easy for you to see yet. But I'm just making sure I've got a good image. Okay, so right now, quite unremarkable, but it's about to get better. And I'm going to use, and it looks so pretty, wait till you see it, the white Stampin' Emboss powder. So I just have a paper plate underneath me to catch the excess. So we'll sprinkle this on. This is, to me, I just love this part. When the powder goes away, it's like, oh my goodness, the powder's stuck. All right, so I missed a little bit, but no big deal. This powder stays wet, or I mean the ink stays wet for a good long time. So I can see that my image is well embossed, or well covered with embossing powder. Look, when I'm done, this is why I like using the paper plate. I just funnel it right back in. This plate is coated, so it does slide right off. All right, and so then we're going to take the heat tool and melt the embossing powder. And this is a wonderful heat tool. You know, these are not all created equally. I had one when I first started stamping that was inexpensive, and then I went to a friend's house. We had a Stampin' Up! One, and it was like, oh my goodness. I went home and asked my husband, I said, how could it be different? I'm thinking, you know, a heat tool's a heat tool. He said, well, it's a much better tool. Well, it really is. And so anyway, there are two settings on here. One is, the first is for drying ink. The second is for melting the embossed powder. So we want that. And so we're just going to hold it on there. I'll bring it up a little bit closer to you. Keep your fingers out of the way. The heat is really intense. And we're going to hold it until we see it. Oh, there we go. We go from powdery to shiny. Look at that. And as soon as you see it melt, move on. You don't want to burn the paper. Let me rotate that. Get my fingers out of the way. Oh, this never fails to delight embossing. Look how that white is showing up on our polka dot paper. Okay, let's turn in the light and look. And if you see anything that's still powdery, just go ahead and put the heat tool on it again and finish melting it. pretty, pretty, pretty. That is looking really good. So we're going to be die cutting that with the coordinating framelit. But before we do that, let's go ahead and stamp our gift tag. So I've got some Whisper White cardstock here, and coordinating with our designer paper, I'm going to use the Garden Green Classic Stamp Pad. We're going to pick this up and slide that. Okay. And then I have our tag. Let me turn it this way. I tried both Garden Green and Poppy Parade. I mixed them up, and then I ended up just preferring the Garden Green. And so then I chose a gift just for you. That's really nice, huh? And then with it being photopolymer, we can see where we're stamping. All right. Get that centered in there. And there we go. Very nice. So now what I need to do is grab my Big Shot die cutting machine. I've got my Big Shot die cutting machine, and instead of using the Big Shot platform, I'm going to use the magnetic platform to hold the die in place when I'm die cutting the bow and the tag. And so then I added a cutting pad. We're building our sandwich, and then we've got our paper, and then I need the die, the bow die. There we go. And center this on here. Okay, looking really good. Great. All right, I think it's looking good. How's it looking good from where you're sitting? All right, and then to finish the sandwich, we need another cutting pad. I want to place this on here instead of sliding it on so it doesn't move. There we go. And go ahead and crank that through. And there we go. Look at that. Doesn't that look great? That white embossing is fantastic. It's even, stands out even better without all the polka dots all around it. So let's slide this back. So I'll do the same thing with the tag die, but I want to show you something else. I've got more of the paper, and we're going to use a couple other of these dies. Look at this. So I chose this one, and there are two, so we can do two at one time. How handy is that? All right. And this glue, it is something. You think you're going to bend them, but I haven't yet. It is some awesome glue. And so this is going to be part of, this will be our ribbon for our bow. So we'll just set this on here. And it gave us two. They're the same, but we can do two at the same time, which will save you time if you're making a bunch of these, right? If you're just making a bunch of them, whoever they're for. Okay. And same sandwich. And there we go. And so it just cut through that. We got a couple little things to poke out, which will just fall out. Fantastic. This die cut fell right out, but this one didn't. So I thought, well, I'll show you what to do. So I've got my take your pick tool, and on this end I have the paper piercing tool. And so we'll just go ahead and lift this out of there. There we go, look. And, oh, most of those pieces are out of there, but for whatever, there we go. This is a handy dandy tool, and it's so much more than a paper piercing tool. But there we go, we've got that. All right, and so now what we're gonna do is, look. These Baker boxes, they're from the holiday catalog, and they're food safe. So if you wanted to, I'm going to be using K-cups, but if you wanted to, you could bake and put the food in here. So I haven't assembled one. Hopefully I don't make it, it is easy to go together. Somehow I tend to fumble around and make things look harder than they are. But what you want to do is just get all your folds done. Okay. And that's all creased for you. There we go. Isn't that nice? Okay, we've got a couple more over here. One here and one there. And so then it just all folds together. So let's put these in. Bring this up and over. Fantastic. And then see? Oh, I forgot one crease. Ha ha ha. There we go. That'll make it easier. Look how nice these go together. And so like I said, these are in the holiday catalog. And I'm going to leave mine white, but you could take your Stampin' Spritzer with an ink refill color of your choice and color them. Very nice. So what I found out is 4 of the K-cups fit in there beautifully. And so you could do all the same, but I thought, well, for a gift, it'd be fun to give an assortment. So I put those in, and then as I was playing with it, it was slopping around a little bit. Not bad. So I just took some tissue paper. These are the big roll, you know, the big sheets. This is a 1/4 of a sheet. So we'll just, and it'll just look nice with that in there too, and it just took up any slack because they were okay, but I saw that they rotated, and I just wanted my everything to stay facing the way I wanted it to. So there we go. Does that look good? Wait till we shut it. And so, like I said, for those that, you know, if you don't want to do the K-cups, but how inexpensive is this? 4 K-cups? Oh my gracious. And you can see through it. All right, so then I wanted to use more of the paper from the Santa's Workshop. Isn't this pretty? My gracious, I just love this. And I started with a bigger piece, and for 2 reasons I cut it down, and I'll have a link to my blog post with all the measurements. But I started the bigger piece, and it covered up more the window than I wanted because I kind of wanted to show off that it's, but for my bow to be on there, it was looking kind of lost. So I wanted my bow to fit that. All right. So now here is my tip to save money, because I want you to be able to get as much out of your designer paper as possible. Look, it doesn't meet. So that's on the bottom. So I thought, well, instead of having you cut another strip of designer paper, let's just take a piece of the garden green and we'll put that right on here. So we're going to call this a belly band. On the back side, how cute is this? I considered that paper too. Adorable. You know, with those cookies on there and all the candies, that'd be great for other little things that you could put in there if you wanted to bake or do the candy. So I'm talking and not telling you what I'm doing. This is the tear and tape adhesive. Did you look how, and this is extra strong, and look how easy that went down. You just tear it off. It's just the coolest stuff. And so let's line it up. Okay, now if you're really fussy, you could cut another piece of the, you know, the designer paper. It just wouldn't go all the way around. And you know, and some people, they make a lot of gifts like this, so it was just a good way to stretch out your paper. Now I'm using the tear and tape adhesive instead of the snail because it's super strong, and the way we're going to wrap this around the box, that's a lot of pressure on it, so I wanted something stronger than the snail adhesive. Okay, let's peel that off. Oh, let's leave that on for right now, because here's what we're going to do. Instead of giving you score lines, we're just going to put it on here, place it on here, because it's all filled. I'm happy with it. And I'm just going to have you crease. It didn't get wrinkled when I tried it. Okay, it looked good. Normally I really like a score line, so it's, but look how nice that looks. And then we'll bring this around. And now let's peel that off. See, isn't this an easy project? Other than we definitely want to get the rest of that backing off. Okay. Because sometimes when I score, it could be a little bit too tight, a little bit, you know, maybe depending on what you put in there, so that the score lines could have changed. Let's crease that. So that doesn't that look sharp? Easy, easy, easy. Okay, so now, see, our ribbon is polka dot to go with our bow. It just works out really well. So again, keeping this as easy as possible. Mini glue dots, we do want the extra strength. Take these out and let's roll it back until you can see them in the light. Ah, there we go. And I'm going to put one here and one right here. Whoops. Okay, so I don't need to go all the way up because the bow will be covering it, but let's put this in the center and attach it back here. Nice. And then let's do the same thing over here. There we go. right. So about right there should be fine. And doing that, these two actually even meet. Isn't that looking pretty sharp? Well, it will. Just a second, because this bow is awesome. I love polka dots. Look at that. Oh, okay, and so what we're going to do is just one of the easiest things ever is to just dress it up a little bit with the Stampin' Dimensionals. When it stands up a little bit, makes it extra special. So let's go ahead. About 3 of these foam adhesive dots. And so press down in the center with your thumbnail. Short nails work fine. It just makes the edges pop up so it's easy to get this backing off. Okay. And then our bow. Looking good, huh? All right. And so then we have our gift tag. And again, keeping it easy, I'm just going to go ahead and use a mini glue dot again as soon as I find them. Oh, here they are. Does it happen to you? It's like, I know it's here. I just laid it down. Look, this even puts a little hole in it, that die. So if you wanted to tie it on to a gift, there we go. Okay, I didn't get all the ink off. I was playing around with something and boy, did I have a mess. All right, and so there, doesn't that look sharp? And so then just one little touch. Look at this. The red rhinestone basic jewels, and back with my take your pick tool on the other end. Look, this is the putty end, so you can pick up little things. All right, so that will pick up the sequins and different things like that. But on this end we have that paper piercing tool. I'm just going to pop that out. Look, now on the other side I have this spatula, so I'm going to grab one of these. I like to press down on the jewel or the pearl, whatever it is, so the adhesive is then sticking really well. Get up and underneath, and this one little touch, there we go. And we have, well, you just saw, easy and affordable Christmas gift for coffee lovers, or fill it with something else. If you'd like to make my easy and affordable Christmas gift for coffee lovers, all the supplies are listed below the video and available to order now in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. I'm Shelly Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching.